Hey guys, it's Marcus Adkins with Orlando Microgreens, and today we're going to be growing radish. In this video, we're going to go over a step-by-step guide to how to grow radishes. So don't go away, we'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to be growing radish, and we are using our True Leaf Radish Triton purple seeds. We have used these many times before. Everybody loves these. These are the best tasting, one of the best tasting ones we've had. You've got the beautiful red pinkish stem. These are great. Definitely highly recommend these. Now we are using 3 trays today. We are using our Bootstrap Farmer trays. These are amazing. I have a few different kinds of trays here. Hands down, these are the best. You get into some of the flimsy trays and they're gonna sag in the middle. They're gonna, when you put the weight on them, they're gonna let them move funny. The water's not gonna run through them right. You're gonna have a few challenges with some of the flimsier trays, so I highly recommend investing in Bootstrap Farmer trays. I'll put a link in the description. Now you need 3 of them. You need 1 with no holes, 1 with holes. That's where we're gonna put our medium in. That way we can pick it up and bottom water and check on the roots. And then you're gonna need a 3rd one to weight it, and then we will then flip it in blackout later. So let's go ahead and get started with our planting. Now you're gonna need 30 grams of seeds and about 10 to 12 cups of coco coir for a 10 by 20 tray. So we'll go ahead and get that filled up. And make sure that that's all broke up in there. I definitely got a couple lumps. Should probably do that ahead of time for a video, huh? Just make sure there's no major lumps down in there. Then you want to spread that nice and even. Make sure you get it into the corners and the sides. And you do want this tray almost full. There's a little notch down there you can see. Try to get it just up almost to that notch when it's light and fluffy. And then after you put weight on it for a couple days, it will kind of settle in together, but then with the seeds and everything, it'll all settle in nice. And that's one of the keys here. Is you want nice and even amount of coco coir all the way across, nice flat surface. And the seeds must get really good contact with the medium you're using for best germination. And I like to do the trays pretty deep because the coco coir, that thickness, the thickness of the medium you use are gonna support the stems and growth. It's also gonna regulate your water. If you have it too thin, they're gonna be saturated. Now, when it's too saturated, you have conditions in the soil where there's no air, there's no oxygen. That's when mold starts to grow. So I like to have a little more medium in the tray so there's enough oxygen in there. And when you do water, it's a little more forgiving when you have a little more medium in there. It keeps that level of wetness from the bottom where they can reach down for the water if they want it. But that looks pretty good there. So I'm gonna go ahead and weigh out 30 grams of seeds for this tray. And there's 30 grams. And I don't know if you've seen what the seeds look like for radish. That's what our seeds look like. And then you're just gonna put a little bit in there. I like to do this little circle thing here. Just letting a few at a time. Spread them all the way out. I used to spread the seeds all the way tight to the edges. I do try to stay away from the edge a little bit. What happens is when you put it in blackout with a weighted blackout, the bottom of the tray is a little thinner than the top. So those edges are gonna dry a little bit. If you do have some seeds over in those areas, they just don't germinate as well. So don't worry about getting it all the way to the edge. Just try to make them as even as possible. No clumping. Anywhere you have a patch of them too close together, that's when they have, just like that one I just laid there. I'll fix that in a second here with a fork. Or these are big enough to reach down and grab with your hands. So if you like our videos and you enjoy the content we're bringing you, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you'll get notifications on any of our other videos coming out. And if there's anything that you've had questions about, don't hesitate, comment in there and ask your question. There's other people that are having the same questions. If it does come up a couple times, we'll make a specific video about it or a blog post or something to get the information to you. It pays off just to take your time. Make sure these guys don't have any very dense areas. If it's too dense in a spot, that's where the trouble starts. So we're curious, what kind of medium do you guys use? Leave in the comment below. Do you use coco coir, soil, hydroponic mats? What do you guys use? All right, now that I got it all seeded, I'm pretty happy with that. There's a couple spots here that they're close together, but they're not too close together. I don't have any really bad clumping going on. Everything's got enough space. I'm gonna go ahead and water that in real good. And you definitely wanna get this nice and wet. The best way to do it is get that nearly saturated, but if you have water coming out of the bottom of this, it's way too much. You definitely want this to be really nice and soaking wet on the top to begin with. If you got water pooling up on the top of your medium, you've got a little too much. This is something that comes after doing it for a little while. You start getting used to how much water you want on your tray. And this is another thing that helps with a little bit thicker of a medium, whether it's soil or coco coir. You can keep the top moist and saturated like you need for the seeds to germinate real strong. And that's another thing, guys. Mold starts when you don't have good germination. If the tray is kind of thrown together sloppy, if you got clumps of seeds and everything, the ones that don't germinate and the ones that are partially germinated, they let it stay down under the canopy. Those are where the mold starts. So you want a nice, healthy germination all the way across to keep those problems. Now, the way I did that soil nice and loose, when I do put the third tray on top and weight it down, it's gonna sink the seeds down into this coco coir, into the medium with great contact, and we'll see how that looks in a couple days, and I'll show you how well these guys take off. So now I'm just going to take my tray with no holes, and we're going to put that right on top, and I'll weight that down with 3 pavers, so we use 15 pounds of weight. And then we'll put that on the shelf. We'll check on that in a couple days. These are a real fast crop, so we'll be right back with those. See you then. Hey guys, so it is day 2 of our radish grow. Let's see how that's coming along. Watch these guys, they'll have some sticking to the bottom. Just gonna keep it close. Give it a few taps and knock some of them guys off. They'll work their way back into the medium. So we definitely got the radicals pushing down. These guys are growing strong real quick. I do have some cotyledons starting to show. And I'm just gonna wait it until I have a little more even germination. Some of these other little guys, I want to see those cotyledons go down deeper into the medium. So we're gonna put it back under weight. We're gonna check it again tomorrow and see how it looks then. All right, so it's day 4 of our radish grow. Let's see how that's coming along. Oh, wow. This one's going up quick. Look at that. Wow. That is one happy radish tray right there. Let's see what kind of roots we have. Oh, we got beautiful white roots coming out. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it about a cup of water. This looks like the medium's getting a little dry, so we're gonna get it plenty of water. And we'll put that back on the shelf, put it in a light. We'll see how that looks tomorrow. All right, so it's day 5 of our radish grow. Let's see how that looks. I'm really impressed with this tray. It's doing so well. The stalks are really thick on this. I think it's because I left it with the weight on it a day longer than I really meant to, but it seems to be working out great. I'm still experiencing the corners drying out a little bit. But overall, it's maintaining its moisture. The roots look great. Well, as you can see, those look fantastic. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bottom water that. Give it about a half a cup or so. And we'll show you what that one looks like on harvest day. See you then. So it is day 6 of our radish grow and our wheatgrass grow. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest both of them real quick, see how they look. So you can see the radish now is just now getting to the point where it's about to start showing its true leaf. So this is when they're the spiciest. This is the way I like them. If you let them go a little longer, you can let them go a couple more days, get the true leaf out. They'll be a little more mild, not quite as spicy. Depending on your taste buds, you kind of want to test them day by day to find out the way you like them. And we are just gonna go ahead and turn on our scale, and we're gonna harvest this thing and see how much weight we have. Hang on just a second. Hello? Yeah. Radish? All right, I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, bye. Okay, so we are not gonna harvest this. I just got a phone call from one of my customers and they need some radish and wheatgrass right now. So I'm about to run that out the door and I guess we'll get you on a harvest on the next video. See you then, guys, take care.